Hi, my name is Ann Brew, and I'm visiting you from my family room on a cold Halloween night. All the trick-or-treaters have gone to bed, and I've got the fire going and my feet up, and I wanted to talk to you all about methods. Doesn't that sound exciting? I think it does. And I thought, you know what? I bet all of my friends out in the internet land would be really interested in these little, I don't like to call them tricks, they really are methods. So the first method I'd like to talk about is the mark. When I sit down to start drawing, I have to say that I get pretty intimidated by that blank piece of paper. And I remember a long time ago when I was at SUNY, one of my drawing teachers said, you know what, just get a mark on that paper, just any mark. It doesn't matter what it is, just get that mark on that paper. So I get that mark on the paper, and what I really like to do is a few gestures, some figure gestures, just to get my eye and my hand and my brain all working together. This method is great if you're a beginner or if you're a professional or just somebody who's more advanced in drawing. If you're a beginner and you just don't know where to start, it's the same thing, but it's different. Because if you're a beginner, sometimes you just don't know where to start with proportion or perspective or body part or anatomy or whatever it is that you're doing. Methods can really get you into it if you think about it. There's methods for proportions. There's methods for placing feet. There's methods for creating a figure in perspective. There's methods for dividing the body up so that you can use whatever proportion you want. That's why I really like methods a lot, and I not only teach them, I use them. A lot of people might say, well, isn't your drawing going to look kind of academic if you do that? And it's possible that if you're always using methods, that your drawings could look academic. My feeling is that more often than not, the method will get you over a hump, and then you'll just relax and all of your creative juices will start flowing. So one of the first things that I do, as I said in the beginning, was the mark. And I like to do a few gestures. So here's a few gestures that I've done in order to warm up for this demo that I did in my class. And the demo is pretty much all about dividing a rectangle up, and inside that rectangle is going to be placed a skeleton in normal proportions. You can divide this rectangle up any way that you want, but I'm going to save that for another lesson. So if you want to know more about that, I really hope you check out my website, aspiringartistschool.com, and sign up for a course. But today, let's just take a look at some rectangles. So now here is the beginning of a rectangle. And you can see that basically I use a box for a head, and I divide the rectangle up into 8 equal sections. How I do that is I make my rectangle and then I make an X through it from the upper left corner to the bottom right and from the upper right corner to the bottom left. And where that X intersects is going to be half of the rectangle. So the top half is going to be 4 heads and the bottom half is going to be 4 heads. So you can see it gets divided up into 4 heads. You can divide each one of those sections up by labeling them. So at the very, very top, if you put top of the head, and then the first line you put bottom of the chin, and then the second line you put the sternum, and then you divide the next box, the third box, in half. And in that halfway mark, that's the bottom of your rib cage, and then begins the squishy part or the spine. And then the next box, the fourth box, is the pelvis. From the bottom of that fourth box is the pelvic arc. And from the bottom of the pelvic arc to the bottom of the last box, the eighth box, those are the legs. The legs are generally divided in half by the knee, and then the bottom box is divided in half by the ankle. So the halfway mark of the bottom box is the ankle, and then the very bottom is the bottom of the feet. That's it. It's that simple. And then the next thing I usually do is I draw a pie at the bottom of the feet. And you can see that there in red. So that pie is divided up into 8 pieces. Not enough for a big group of people to eat, but it's just perfect for lining up the feet when you're doing a turnaround of a character and you want to get all the feet placed perfectly. First pie, obviously, the front view, the feet go on the horizontal line. The second one is a 3/4 front view, so that goes on the first diagonal line. The third view is the side view, and the feet go on the line that is the Z-axis that goes in and out of your space. And the fourth view is another 3/4 view, but this time it's the diagonal that runs in the opposite direction of the first one. So the front part of that diagonal line is going to be on your right, and the back part is going to be on the left. And then the back view is another horizontal line, and the feet are placed in the same position as the front view, except you're looking at the heel. You're looking at the back of the foot instead of the front of the foot. And it's as easy as that. All of these methods are designed to help students learn. It helps you train your eyes to see. It helps you to memorize proportions. It also helps you to memorize some basic artist anatomy. And I really have to give a shout out to a lot of my teachers. I had Amy Trapgut at SUNY, Rad Seacrest for storyboarding. I've read Michael Hampton's book, fabulous, by the way. In case you don't have it, I would strongly recommend that you look it up. And also Andrew Loomis, who is not with us, but a famous illustrator, artist, who created a number of drawing books that are excellent and have been used for half a century. Anyway, it's been my pleasure to share these little drawings with you. I hope you got as much out of them as my students did. And again, if you want to learn more, check out my website at aspiringartistschool.com for more classes. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.